How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Chunga, my friends, it's Trev the Rev, and I ain't no vicar. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. And yesterday, we are going into talking about King, the Great One, the one that stands above all, King Arthur. Good afternoon. Hello, my lady. How are we doing? I hope we are surviving in this horrible day, this horrible cold, wintry rain day. Hello, my lady. Welcome. Yes, we're talking about King Arthur today. As usual, I start my show with my usual shenanigans. If you enjoy the show, please hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't done so already and you would like to see some more of my mad shows, just hit the subscribe button, which is just down below there somewhere. And if you want to know the videos coming out, just ring that bell. And you can also tell your friends all about the show so we can get more people watching this madness of a show. So yes, we're talking about King Arthur. But before we get there, as you know, I like to start the show with a bit of humour. You know, I'm going to tell a joke. I'm going to tell a bad joke. About two kids, a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old. And they're up to their bedroom waiting for breakfast rather. No, breakfast, dinner, breakfast. Let's say dinner. And no, we'll do breakfast. They're talking upstairs about breakfast. And the 7-year-old looks at the 5-year-old kid and he says, I think it's about time we learn how to swear. We're all good kids, but I think it's about time we learn to swear. So when we go down for breakfast, we're going to swear. Is that all right? And the 5-year-old, yeah. I delight his older brother. Yeah. So we go downstairs for breakfast. And Mum goes to the 7-year-old and she says, what do you want for breakfast then? And she was like, fuck me, woman. She says, I want fucking Cocoa Pops this morning. Fucking Cocoa Pops. That's what I want. Hearing these words, the mum clipped him round the ear roll, sent him flying across the room on the floor. He's going. He's going. The mum then turned to the 5-year-old and said, what do you want for breakfast? And the 5-year-old looked at his brother and went, I don't want fucking Cocoa Pops. There you go. It wasn't that bad, was it? My joke wasn't that bad. It's about my usual level of sense of humour, about the level. I didn't even push my old boss by telling him that joke. So, there you go. So, yes, we are talking today about His Lordship, His Highness, King Arthur. And as you know, where King Arthur is, obviously made Robin Hood, isn't it? Yes, where King Arthur is Excalibur. He's sure he's not going to be far away. Although, I have a trivia question for you. Did you know? Everyone says when you ask someone what's the name of the sword and the stone, 9 times out of 10, everyone will say Excalibur. But it wasn't. The name of the sword was not Excalibur at all. I think it's Caliban, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm glad you enjoyed my joke. You can tell your dad. Just don't tell him he told you, Cat. Right. Anyway, right. Here we go. King Arthur facts reveal that there are numerous variations of the Arthurian legend. The basic story is very similar in most of them. Just don't tell him I told you. He'd kill me on Monday. Arthur was a legitimate son of the King of Britain, succeeded his throne by showing his worth in an unusual feat of strength, and later successfully fought many powerful enemies to secure his kingdom's place in the world. Stories about King Arthur have been popular in Wales even before the 11th century, but the legend spread through Europe with the Geoffrey Geoffrey of Monmouth's Historia Regum Britanniae, which was written circa 1138 and celebrated a glorious king who defeated a powerful Roman army in France. Viva la France! Viva la Vénus, or Viva la France, one of the two. But was later betrayed in his homeland by a member of his own family and was mortally wounded combating his foe forces. Writings then came after Geoffrey introduced additional details, especially about his loyal knight companions and the Holy Grail. See, that reminds me of a film I was watching the other day, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So funny, so funny. Of course, there are many different theories regarding the origin of King Arthur's name. King Arthur facts reveal that there are many theories. I've said that. I've just said that. Losing my place. Madness. Madness. I told you, mad video. Some scholars believe that his name simply comes from the Roman family name Artorius. Artorius? Artorius, which most likely derived from Etruscan, while others believe that the root for the name Arthur comes from the Celtic Arturic, meaning the Bear King. Don't wake him up in the morning, he'll be all grizzly and horrible. Or from the name Taurus, which is located near the constellation Ursa Minor, Great Bear. Thing in common there. Things are getting in common with this thing already. Lost my place there. I do apologise, but I lost my place. Or it could come from the old Irish name Arthur, or Artar, which derives from the old Welsh or Cumbric name. King Arthur's King Arthur's mystical kingdom might come from where that's his life, can't you? Anyway, let's rewind. King Arthur's mystical kingdom, from where he ruled, was called Camelot. Most modern historians agree that King Arthur's kingdom was just a legendary utopia where peace and justice ruled. Yay! Yay for the good guys! Supposing the harsh reality of the Middle Ages, where violence, disease, and barbarism was commonplace. Well, it's not good times in those days. Camelot was first introduced into the Arthurian legend as a town in the late 12th century by a French poet. Thinking French people again? Detroit, in his tale of Arthur's knight Lancelot. Camelot became a mighty kingdom of modern Arthurian tales in the centuries that followed, in the works of various other authors. King Arthur facts reveal the presence of his great love, Queen Guinevere. That was what I was thinking, not Marion, Guinevere. Oh, milady. What's going on? I do apologise. Something has happened to me mid-screen. I've no idea what's happened. I've got a big black grid across the front of me, and I don't know how you get rid of it. Oh, God. There you go. Plus, I do apologise there for a big black thing appeared in front of my screen. I've got no idea how it appeared, but, ooh, God, madness. Absolutely madness. And now my picture's frozen. Hey, back again. Yeah. This video is going to be interesting. Queen Guinevere, also known as Guinevere, that's with a U, not a W at the start. Guinevere, Gwenhumar, and some other words I'm not going to even try and pronounce because they're Welsh and, There are numerous variations of Guinevere's story in the Arthurian legend, but she is mostly portrayed as an adulteress who had an affair with Arthur's first knight, Lancelot, and later became wife to Arthur's traitorous nephew, Sir Mordred. She was either the daughter of the king herself or a descendant of a noble royal Roman family, and was always portrayed as exceptionally beautiful but tragic, romantic, and Herian. King Arthur's facts that deal with his children differ greatly from each other, with some claiming he had children and some claiming that he died childless. Sorry. Among these sources that describe his children, we can find both early and late Arthurian tales, and the first descendant of King Arthur to be mentioned is found in the 9th century Historia Britannium. The children of Arthur, who are frequently mentioned in Arthurian legends, are Gwydir Lachar, and Lohol. Yeah. Why can't they have normal names like King Fred? King King Trevor. That sounds good, doesn't it? That sounds quite good, that King Trevor. Yes, King Trevor, you may rise before me. Later writings, such as Tom Thumb, The Bridal of Tearman, and modern-day film and television adaptations also mention Arthur's daughters, details of whom cannot be found in any of the earlier tales. King Arthur facts show that the great king's last battle was with the Battle of Caemlyn, where Arthur died or was fatally wounded. Depending on the source, in one of the most popular tales, his wife Guinevere and his first knight Lancelot had an affair. But Arthur besieged Lancelot's castle for months, but couldn't defeat his former friend. Eventually, an agreement was reached, according to which Arthur got his wife back and Lancelot was left alive but exiled to France. French again, thinking France, God. However, Arthur still couldn't forgive his ex-friend Lancelot, so he followed him to France, leaving his nephew Mordred in charge of the kingdom. But Mordred wanted the kingdom for himself and Guinevere as his wife, so Arthur was forced to return home to get his kingdom back. During a great battle, the Battle of Caemlyn, Mordred and Arthur mortally wounded each other, but 3 fairy queens took Arthur's body and sailed to the mysterious isle of Avalon, presumably to cure his wounds. Some say he still lies there, sleeping on a hollow hill, waiting to be awakened one day to defend Britain when Britain really needs him. One of the most famous of the Arthurian tales that are revealed by King Arthur facts, Arthur pulled a sword. King Arthur, by pulling a sword from the stone. Arthur proved his lineage and proved that he was worthy of the throne of Britain. This part of legends was added in the 12th century by a poet called Robert the Boron. Robert Boron, and slightly altered previously predominant tales of Arthur. This version of the story presented an Arthur who was given up by his family. He was given up by his father. There you go. This version, the king, and had to be raised as a nobleman's son, far from the king's palace. Arthur was not aware of his real father, so when the king died, England offered no real heir to take his throne. Rival dukes and lords disputed and searched for the best man to become the king. Finding no solution, they asked Merlin to help them. Help! We need somebody. Help! Not just anybody. Help! Do. Oh! Merlin wanted to give Arthur a chance to grow up and become a man before taking the throne. He erected a large stone with an anvil on top and stuck in the anvil with a sword with the inscription, "Whoever lifts up the sword from the stone is right-wise king, born of all England." Thousands of men tried to pull the sword out of the stone, but none succeeded, and the sword became forgotten. With England falling into greater ruin, the boy Arthur grew up under the careful tutelage of Merlin, and on his 50th birthday he was taken to the stone and he pulled the sword out of it, thus becoming the King of England. Yes, that's how he told you about the sword. So now we're going to go into, before we get back to our things, let's do some facts. He was a mythological king who ruled Britain during the medieval period. He was English, obviously. During the late 5th century, he was born in Tintagel, which is in Devon, just near me. In the early 6th century, he died. His parents were King Earth, that's Uther, Pendragon, and Igraine. I have a migraine. the daughters of Cornwall. Nickname was the one true king of Britain. There's movies, you got Excalibur, you got King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table, King Arthur. Oh, God. And then you got King Arthur was obviously one of the 9 worthies. Worthies had words. King Arthur had a special relationship with Merlin the Enchanter. Arthur was not. Historical facts suggest actually Arthur wasn't really a king, but all these things have different bits and bobs, There's actually little evidence that King Arthur really existed. Like Robin Hood, there's no real evidence. That's half the problem. So that, my friends, is King Arthur as promised. And now, if we've got some time left over, the mad time left over, we are going to go into some Did you know? Did you know? It's a Did you know section. And this is going to be about statistics. Statistics. Did you know? 11% of people are left-handed. I'm right-handed, yeah. Did you know August has the highest percentage of births? I didn't know months could give birth. Did you know the average person falls asleep in 7 minutes? It takes me about 17 minutes, but there you go. Did you know lemons contain more sugar than strawberries? I didn't know that. Maybe you should go and suck on a lemon. Did you know 8% of people have an extra rib? Adam's rib. Did you know 85% of plant life is found in the ocean? Actually, I did know that. I did know there's a lot of plant life in the ocean. Did you know the Hawaiian alphabet has 13 letters? Ahula. See, ahula. Sugar. Did you know the most commonly used letter in the alphabet is E? E by gum. Did you know the 3 most common languages in the world are Mandarin Chinese, Spanish, and English? Hey! Did you know that Perth is Australia's windiest city? Too many people eating baked beans, I tell you. Too many baked beans, well. Did you know money is the number one thing that couples argue about? I can believe that. I can believe that. Did you know stewardesses is the longest word that is typed with only the left hand? Typewriter. Did you know honey is the only natural food which never spoils? Again, I did know that. Did you know that you burn more calories eating celery than it contains? The more you eat, the thinner you become. Did you know about 90% of the world's population pisses? Yeah. Did you know toilets use 35% of indoor water use? There you go. We'll tell. We'll go and say, well, let's go over some more. Did you know the first Burger King was opened in Florida, Miami in 1954? Did you know in 1878 the first telephone book may contained only 50 names? First for a telephone pamphlet. Do you know Coca-Cola launched its third product Sprite in 1961? 61. Did you know instant coffee was invented in 1901? Did you know the naming of tropical storms and hurricanes officially began in 1953? That fact just blew me away. Did you know Madonna and Michael Jackson were both born in 1958? Getting old. Well, one is now because one passed away. Did you know Halley's Comet passes the Earth every 76 years? Next time it will return will be 2062. And I'll still be at Safety Clean. Did you know the Olympic flag was designed in 1913? Did you know the electric toothbrush was invented in 1939? Did you know the doorbell was invented in 1831? That rings a bell, doesn't it? Ding dong. Did you know the first English dictionary was written in 1755? Did you know tea bag was invented in 1908? Did you know plastic bottles were first used for soft drinks in 1970, the year I was born? Did you know the dollar sign was introduced in 1788? Did you know the term disc jockey was first used in 1937? Did you know volleyball was invented in 1895? Did you know Hawaii officially became a part of the US in 1900? Did you know New York Central Park was opened in 1876? Did you know the first rugby club was formed in 1843? Did you know New Zealand's first hospital was opened in 1843? And that's the last. It's the last of Did You Knows. The last of the last of Did You Knows. We have now come at the end of our show. We have come to the end of our show. And if you've enjoyed my show, please, like I said, hit that thumbs up button. Thumbs up, that shape, look, thumbs up button. If you haven't done so already, and would like to see more of my stuff, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want to know when the next video is coming out, ring that bell. Ring that bell. And on that note, this is I, Trev the Rev, and Ain't No Vicar, about to sign off. But before you go, just to let you know what we're talking about next week. Next week, we are talking about black holes. Do, 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 do. Until next time. Bye bye.